Good afternoon, Second Life. This is Durgan Hartunian bringing you Winner's Circle from Sports Zone at United Football League headquarters. Week number 7 of our second season underway, and we're here with some of the players of the game from the last 2 weekends. I'd like to recognize all of them. On week number 5, we had for the Titans Ryden Venom, Rudy Barham for the Raiders, Jeff McGee for the Buccaneers. For the Patriots in week number 5, Pit Dog was selected, although the UFL site shows he's no longer a member of that team as of shortly thereafter. For the Seahawks, we had Marshawn Lynch, and for the Cowboys, Cervantes Hastings, now a two-time winner. For week number 6, we had Skinner Skytower representing the Seahawks, Darian Humphreys, now a two-time player of the game recipient for the Warriors, Cam Cora for the Buccaneers, Michael Slate for the Raiders, Mikey Warblood for the Cobras, and Troy Briere, also a two-time winner, player of the game representing the Titans. For those joining us this weekend, we have on the bar here with us Ryden Venom, Darian Humphreys, Mikey Warblood, Cervantes Hastings, and Jeff McGee. Gentlemen, congratulations and welcome to the Winner's Circle. We're jumping right into it a little bit quick this week. I'm glad to have everybody here. For this week, I'm going to rewind a little bit to the show's focus on organization and leadership. That's kind of the intent behind bringing all this stuff to light, is so that everyone on all the teams, team owners, team players, can kind of learn about what it takes to actually run a team in this league, as it's a pretty unique environment. As we know, the owner system is something in online gaming that is pretty unique to SL football. And what I want to talk about is the very necessary balance between players and owners. Where do each of them fit in? Where are the lines drawn? What are each person's responsibilities within your team, and what makes that balance work? We'll start with Ryden for the Titans over here on my left.
That was an awful lot in one question.
It really is. I know.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm actually part owner of one team, but I'm also just a player, and all our guys are just players and owners. We're just one unit. You know, a couple guys have some more responsibilities, sure, but
Can you elaborate
as a
on
whole,
what the responsibilities are exactly? Like, what
well,
does it separate?
well, we have Enric. He's our scrim bitch. He lines up all the scrims, sets things up like that. We have Pit Boss and Rayon, who kind of are in the more in the owners' meetings and, you know, kind of laying the path for the game itself. Me myself, I'm kind of silent unless I feel the need to speak up.
But other than that, it's pretty much distributed across everybody.
Yeah, yep. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel a little bad for some of the teams with a single owner or whatnot. You know, at least we have 4, and it kind of spreads things out, and it's not just one burden for one person, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. Darian, you've touched on this a little bit. You've actually been a guest on the show before, but go ahead into detail on what we're looking at here. How do the
Okay,
Warriors
sure.
work?
Well, I think the balance between owners and players it's pretty simple, but it really is necessary. I mean, if you look at it, you've got 12 teams, and if you say, say each team has an average of 10 people on their roster, so you're looking at 120 people, each with a different perspective, each with different things that they want the league to do and directions to go in. So, to me, the balance between owner and player is that the owner really has to allow their players to have a voice and really kind of distill what they say, and try to line that up with what the owners have established as the vision of the league to see where it fits in and kind of go from there. For our team, obviously, we have 2 owners, Cal and myself. But each person, we don't really have people designated as having certain responsibilities. We kind of put it on the whole team. It's everybody's responsibility to represent our team well, to get our brand, to get our name out there, and to put on a good show. If something needs to be done, anybody has the opportunity to come up and say, hey, we need to do this, and then we'll talk about it and see whose talents might lend themselves best to that.
Right. So you work off of merit
as far,
pretty much when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And where the line is drawn, everybody on the team has a voice, but at the end of the day, it's the owner that has to be responsible for making the final decision, taking what the players want and lining that up against the direction that the league wants to go in as a whole. So, that's pretty much it for us.
All right. And Mikey, what about the Cobras? What do you think of the environment there?
I mean, well, our team, pretty much everybody tries to help each other out as much as possible. But Jasmine, she's all by herself, so she tries to find certain people to help build the team. But she also has Mako there that also helps with the scrims and all that. But most of the time, Jason and all of us, we all try to find the scrims, like competitive scrims or whatever.
Right.
And pretty much we're like a one family type of thing. Nobody has a certain title, but Jasmine, she's all by herself. She tries her best, and I give her all the respect as much as possible. Because I couldn't do that. I'm sorry, hell no. I couldn't be an owner. That's too much pressure, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, that's pretty much pretty much it. Yeah.
So pretty much she runs it, and whatever she says is the final word on.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
Plus, she tries to play with us as well, so.
And Fontes, I've been on the Cowboys before, but I don't know exactly how much stuff has or has not changed there. Go ahead and give us the Cowboys' perspective on it.
Yeah, man. We've got a lot of changes over the last year. Had a couple new owners. We got Day, who's the original owner. Horns, of course, and Pick as well. So really, responsibilities is kind of divided between them all. I mean, Horns is really the main go-to person right now. She sets up the scrims for us. She is the one that names the captains. Myself and Alex Fearsome, which they let us run the team pretty well. Let us decide, the rosters and who's best fit for what. So, it's pretty much split down the middle. But at the end of the day, I think Horns is the one that really is the backbone right now of the team. She's carrying it pretty well on her back, and and she's going pretty well right now. So we'll see how it goes.
And Jeff, what about the Buccaneers? I know it's a pretty unique environment y'all have got over there. A lot of y'all came from actually a kind of a non-owner situation in the Dolphins.
Yeah.
How has that changed for you on the Buccaneers?
Well, for us, I guess our situation, like you said, is a lot more unique. It's a lot different than I think everybody else is here. I think the only other team that has an owner that doesn't actively play in every game is maybe the Seahawks, and I could be wrong on that. I'm not entirely sure. But our two owners, neither of them play, right? They're both cheerleaders, Crystal and Lisa. So our breakdown is a lot different, I guess, than a lot of things. And Crystal was the one that first took over, and it was kind of a me, her, and Cam kind of thing, kind of just dealing with everything all together, who we wanted to allow, because whenever we made the team, people were coming to us and asking us to play for us, and it was kind of us three that kind of were like, okay, we want this one, this one, this one, this one, not necessarily this person, and this person. That's kind of us three. Well, Crystal, unfortunately, her work has been ridiculous recently. She's actually been out of town for like the last 2.5 weeks, so she had to get Lisa come in to help her out with a lot of things and kind of be the face, and it's actually worked out really well. I think it gives Crystal maybe more headaches, but Lisa and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So her and I kind of butt heads, figure things out, and then Crystal will make her decision based off that. Yeah, but as far as the team goes, and it works out really well, because as far as the team goes, Cam and I will talk together, and it's 100% Cam's decision as far as anything we do. I'm just kind of there to a lot of times be devil's advocate or give a second opinion on things, and then Cam will make the decision. Yes, I want this guy, or no, I don't want this guy, or whatever the situation is, and then I take that to Lisa or Crystal if she's available, and then we talk it out from there. So it's actually a very, very diplomatic kind of situation on our team. It actually works out pretty well.
That's good. I mean, it sounds like a lot of discourse back and forth, and
yes,
different opinions and options. So certainly something that's beneficial. So I want to turn that same question around now. Let's hypothetically say that you were slated to be a team owner and organize a team in general. What system would be ideal to you, and how and why would it differ from the situation that you've got in your current teams right now? We'll start over there, Ryden, again.
Well, as I am an owner, I can't do anything hypothetical.
Right. It kind of is what you want it to be already, I'd assume.
Yeah, I mean, the way we run our crew, we think is best. I mean, others may not agree, but, we've had the same core for a while,
There's some
beyond
things
this
that
game,
too,
we're
yeah.
friends, and, a couple of them are real life buddies of mine. So, having that chemistry, we know one another, it's just, push forward, work hard, do the Titan way.
All right. Darian, what about you? What can you see that would be improved or that you'd do differently if it was entirely your show to run?
Well, I mean, on a team level, I really don't know that I have anything. I think that for who we have, for the personalities that we have, for the attributes and the skills that each of us brings to the team, I think the way that we have it set up is pretty good now. Everybody has a voice. Everybody feels like they are a part of the direction that the Warriors are going in. Everybody feels like they are there to contribute and to add to, not just to kind of go along for the ride. So,
Right.
and of course, everybody respects the fact that there has to be a person that is the bad guy, I guess, so to speak. Who has to kind of come up with the final decision.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, as long as everybody feels like they are important to the process, that really kind of encourages all to move forward
Absolutely.
as a team. So I think that for who we are, for our identity right now, I think we're in a good spot.
Good. So it's basically what you would do yourself if you were setting it up.
Well, I mean, as an owner, just like riding, it's not a hypothetical for me. It's what we do.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So my perspective is a little bit different. But I think that, most teams that kind of embrace everybody's skill set and ideology, will benefit from it as a whole.
Definitely. And Mikey, what do you think of all this from the Cobra's perspective? How would you do this?
I probably wouldn't change too much because just like Jasmine, if I was the owner, I'd be out there playing with them because even though every once in a while I say, man, screw this, I don't want to be here, I'll retire. But I cannot retire from this. It's too fun. I love this shit. But, no, I probably wouldn't change too much what the team does if I was the owner. I'll probably keep it the same. Probably have a lot more scrimmage than what we do, but hey, you can't have a scrim all the time, right? But yeah, I probably wouldn't change too much.
And what about you, Fontes? What do you see on the Cowboys there, and how would you run it?
Well, first of all, I got no interest in being an owner of a team. I'm a player. I go out there and I do the work, put the time in. But for us, the owners, are good. We got good owners. They're really down the field, listen to what their players got to say. If they need help, they'll ask the captains, because they get more of, what's going on with the field and how the players are feeling and everything. So, I just relay what, how I feel, and, team's a very open team. We got a lot of young guys. Love them to death. They're playing their asses off. They're working hard. They're grinding it out. So, I mean, I wouldn't change much of anything, really. So,
Good.
That's about it.
That's good to hear. And what about you, Jeff? If this is entirely your show to run, would you set it up exactly the same way?
I mean, it was, and it is, and this is how we did it. This is, for the most part, Cam and I don't really disagree on a whole lot. We actually have a lot of similar views. A lot of things that we talk about we do agree on. Like I said, sometimes I do just kind of play devil's advocate for him, but 9 times out of 10, we're pretty much on the same.
And that's an important thing to have, too.
Yeah, like we're usually on the same level. So, when we were sitting down with Crystal and we were talking about how things were going to run, we told her, you said, Cam, me, we're the voices on the field. That's it. You, Lisa, whomever you want, you guys are the voices in the league, and you do whatever however you want us to vote or whatever, all that stuff. That's all on you. Because we tried it last year. We had the team-owned thing with the Dolphins, but none of us care to be at any of those meetings or
Right.
we just want to play.
Yeah.
Right, we just want to play. And even on me, I've actually had some more responsibility that I'm actually happy with having for the most part, on my shoulders this season, just because I'm kind of Cam and I are sort of working together to kind of run things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like the way that it is now because I don't have to deal with all the quote unquote paperwork type of stuff. I get to just kind of play, and I have someone that I can trust in the at the front office or whatever, so to speak, that I know has our team's back, has my back, and like I said, just someone that I trust that's going to make sure that we get what we want and is going to allow us to do what we do on the field.
That's good. That sounds like it works out. So let's go ahead and we'll get out of leadership theory here and back into the functionality of gameplay itself. And let's talk about last weekend, or actually the weekend before last for a couple of y'all. In the last game that you played, where you picked up player of the game, what challenges did you have to face mentally as a team, and how did you do it? How did you get around those challenges? What did you rely on from your teammates, and how did they come through for you during those plays? Right?
I'm trying to remember which game it was now.
It was our game with the Warriors, right?
Oh, thank you. That was a good game. It was a tight game, I think. Warriors are a good team. Basically, I mean, each guy's going to do his job, whether it be a lineman, quarterback, running back, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we rely on each guy to do their job. And if somebody doesn't do their job, things can tend to break down. Like, to be honest with you, I was named MVP, or whatever you want to call it, player of the game, and I got smoked over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So why I'm here, I don't know. But to be honest with you, in that particular game, our offensive linemen were beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the reason we won that game. But
yeah.
Shout out to them.
So everybody basically finding their job, focusing on it, and making sure that they're ready to carry that out without, trying to step over too far into other jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Darian, what about you? This is your second time here. So.
Yeah, and for the second time in a row, I don't know how I got here. Okay, so the game that got me here was last week. So one of the challenges we faced as a team, first and foremost, we kind of had to get past our loss against the Titans. It was a tough loss for us. There was some controversy at the end that was very, distracting and inappropriate, to be honest. We don't have to hash into it. But one of the challenges we had to face was, well, no. I mean, everybody knows what happened, but, see, that's why he sat next to me. He knew it was coming.
That's exactly why we're sitting at a bar here.
Right, with the drink in my hand.
Oh, man.
As a team, our challenge was, we had to mentally kind of get past that, because it was a hard loss for us. It was a great game, and obviously we were, really disappointed with the outcome, and we had to deal with some of the things that happened after the game, for our part. So, our challenge was, how do we do that in a way that reflects, what our values are as a team, but also doesn't really distract and unmotivate the players to get up, because our next game was against the Mustangs, and they're a great team too, and that was a really must-win game for us. So we had to really kind of find a way to deal with the past issues and at the same time not let it distract us, and we just tried to stay focused. We did what we did, we handled things internally, and then we just let it go and kept our focus on the game with the Mustangs. Really tried to come up with a solid game plan. As
a leader within that environment, how do you pull that off? Like, what did you do that put that into reality?
I'm sorry, repeat the question for me.
I mean, you're talking about the things that you have to do to stay focused and to get away from a previous loss. And what I want to actually hit here is, as someone on the team, what do you have to do to get that team focused again? Like, how do you make that your reality?
Sure. Well, what we did is, we addressed the issue, and then that was it. We just, we made all of our conversations about the upcoming game, talking about game plan, focusing on our scrims, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, and just really kind of driving home the fact that this game coming up, that game with the Mustangs, was a must-win for us. If we wanted to stay in the playoff hunt, if we wanted to keep earning the respect that we feel we deserve, then we had to do it on the field.
Yep.
So we just kept the focus on getting better and getting ready for the Mustangs.
I hear you. Cool, thank you. Mikey, what do you say about the Cobras?
I mean, last game we pulled out a 1-point victory, man. Like, that was something. That was fun all the way through. But at first, we all had to overcome that. If we lost that game, we was gonna be dead last. And last season, I know the Cobras, they weren't that good. So to me, I was kind of focused on, let's get at least one W. At least we gotta beat these people. We gotta beat the Broncos, even though they're a great team. I was just happy that our line stepped up. They did exactly what they were supposed to. They pretty much saved Jason's butt almost all game long. And then, of course, Bird, he came up with that clutch pick at the end where we could just march down, and then Ruby came in with the touchdown, which I don't know how I'm here. I thought one Dion would have made it, but, I don't know how y'all do y'all's thing or whatever, but...
It's all the commentators. They're watching it, and they decide.
Yeah. And Jason, even though he's sort of a rookie quarterback, he stepped up to the occasion, and he stayed calm. We stayed calm through the whole game. And, I mean, it was a great game. I love it. I love it when it's a nail-biter like that.
Yeah,
it's better than a blowout
so much
win.
fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, yes, definitely. It's better to play it, too. But, that's pretty much what I have to say about it.
All right, Fontes, what do you think there? What were the challenges the Cowboys had last time?
I mean, not really sure off the top of my head. I mean, trying to remember the game, but just know, Huskies, man, they're a good team. They got a lot of good players. They just need to tighten it up a little bit, and they could be up there pretty well. So I think our main focus was, going into that game is watching out for the run, because we all know Jared. He's a good runner. He sees open field, he'll take it. They got a pretty decent secondary, so we had to decide whether we're gonna run it, we're gonna pass it. So I think what we did was we started off with a couple good runs, catch them sleeping, hit them over the top, hit some short routes, do what you got to do. But I remember the line's always number one. That's O-line's most important to me. If you don't have a good cohesive O-line, go ahead.
Yeah, it seems like they don't get celebrated quite enough for the amount of work they do and how crucial it is actually to have them there.
Absolutely, yeah. They're definitely the anchors of the team. I mean, they're the ones that are up there fighting. Keeping the quarterback, giving them the time in the backfield. So we put a lot of pressure on them, but at the end of the day, they excel very well. And I mean, my hats off to them, because I couldn't be a no line. I'm the worst at blocking. I mean, I'll be the first to tell you that. So
you ain't the only.
I catch footballs. That's what I do. So and I think what really happened was we just went in, just have fun, just play your game. If you're not having fun doing this, then why the hell are you even out here?
Exactly.
So just go out there, play, make the plays we know we can do. Don't do anything too fancy. Just play football. Hard-nosed football, grind it out, take the victory.
For sure. Jeff, what do you think about the last Buccaneers game there?
Well, the one that I won was the one 2 weeks ago. So I'll talk about that, and then I'll actually talk about how your question actually kind of leads into both games, because when we were playing against the Mustangs, I kind of felt that the team, mentally, we just kind of weren't in it. Nobody really wanted to be there. TeamSpeak was really dead. It was just kind of a really bad environment, honestly. Nobody was really hyped at all. We were just kind of why are we here? Yeah. So going into the game, it was really awkward. We had a bunch of people late. From the get go, it was just bad. So at halftime, we knew the game was in hand or whatever, and I was just kind of thinking, I was like, man, I'm about to look at these scrims we've got next week and maybe reevaluate what we're doing, because something is not working. And so I ended up canceling our first two scrims in the week, and then we wanted to have a scrim on Thursday of last week, against, or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't remember. I canceled 2 days and I left one open because we wanted to have at least one scrim, and we've been scrimming the Warriors like every single week consistently up to that point. So I was like, well, let's just keep the weekly thing with the Warriors going, and we'll go. I unfortunately forgot, and we were all just kind of playing Fallout together in TeamSpeak, and then like an hour after the game rolls by, I get a message from Darian like, "Hey, you guys forget?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we're playing Fallout." So that was actually the decision that was kind of the decision that we made as a team, because after that win against the Mustangs, though it was an ugly win, we were just like, you know what, let's just take a week and just kind of take a semi break here and get back at it next week. And so that's when we came into play against the Bulldogs. Even though we had people in random positions, crack quarterback that second half, I don't think Cam played coverage at all in that game. We just had people everywhere. We were just having a good time. That was the idea for that game, was to come back in, knock off the rust from not having practiced the previous week, and just have fun again. Just come together and just have a good game. And that's what we ended up doing. And that brought into this week, we have not allowed a single point in any of the scrims that we played this week. All 3 scrims went scoreless against us. So we're playing really well right now, which is really good. And we hope that it can continue today, obviously.
I think there's a lot more value, too, to taking a break there than a lot of people really give it credit for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you kind of got it. Sometimes, and there's definitely something to be said about rust, because in the Bulldogs game, we very clearly were rusty. I missed a ball over the middle that I should never have missed. I missed 2 or 3 balls, actually, in that game. There was that definitely rust, but we knew we kind of had the game to where it would have worked out okay, and we were just there to have a good time. And so whenever it can work out for you in that favor, I think that sometimes more teams, especially with this season is so long, just take a week. If you got a game where you can kind of, slack a little bit, maybe do that and, have a week just to chill from the game. It worked for us.
Yeah, definitely. That's good to hear. So we'll go into our final question here, which I'm probably going to tack on to the end of every episode here, because it's at the core of what the purpose of this show is, which is spreading our knowledge and helping everyone improve. Teach us what could have gone differently. What were the biggest things that your opponent last game might have done or improved on ahead of time to turn that game around? Bryden?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the solution to the Warriors to correct themselves. So all I can speak of is the Titans, and we could have played better defense. Me personally could have played a lot better defense. Like I said, I let that one over the top, and the Sim's going to restart.
That's awesome.
And that's all I have to say about that.
One.
Let's wrap it up.
Well, shit.
But yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So,
I mean, we
real
can
quick,
play better.
Single
Make no
point,
mistakes.
single
Have a good
point
night.
answers there. Yeah, Darian. What about you? What's the quick 1-second answer that the others could have corrected?
The Mustangs did everything right. It was just in that game, it just came down to who was going to make more plays, and I think we made one more than they did, and I don't really have anything to say that they could have done. They played a great game.
All right, my turn. Shouldn't test me. That's all I have to say. No, I'm just kidding. No. Shit, I don't know. I have a timer right there. I'm kind of nervous right now.
I can't wait to
next.
play you. I'll be testing you every play.
It's all gonna be a
Come on, Ryden. Let's go. Come on.
All right, Fontes, how about you? 60 seconds.
1 minute.
Yeah, I really don't know with what could have been different. The Huskies got a lot of work they got to do. They're a good young team. So just keep working on what you're doing and keep doing what you got to do to play. So I'm not sure. I found the openings in the coverage, so maybe tighten it up a little bit for them back there and work on their secondary maybe a little bit.
So
About all I know.
Gotcha. Jeff, what about you?
It was just a skill across the board, on both games. So there's not much to say. We just happened to just be better than both those teams, across the board. So that's just all it was. This game will be a good one, though.
Time and experience. Gotcha. All right, well, hey, thanks once again for our guests for coming out,
Yep.
sharing all this with us. Congratulations to all of you on your selections the past couple of weeks. Good luck to you all again this weekend in your upcoming games. For Winner's Circle, I'm Durgan Hartunian. Keep winning.
Oh yeah, good thing